So these are our meat birds. We move these guys every afternoon. Probably on this old hay. This is a peanut bale that got mobbed out by the cows. Probably move them in the morning and then in the evening on top of it. But they're getting close to being ready to butcher. Probably, I think May the 1st is what we were looking at. Take a look over here at our egg layers. So you notice we've got the fence around it. This is electrified. We have 400-foot sections of this, so we can encompass about 10,000 square feet. And so the reason we've got these chickens, before I turn them out, we had lots of cow pies in here. You can kind of see that one's got a little remnant of a cow pie right there. So these chickens do a fantastic job of scattering out these cow pies. And you see right there where you got some new grass beginning to grow through. And so right there's another spot. And so the chickens just scatter this cow poop. Like right here, you see how that's all just scattered out. And so obviously they've gotten to part of that one, not all of it. And so in that cow poop, you know, there's lots of little seeds and grubs and fly larvae, and you can see one right there is just completely gone. They just devoured that one. And so, you know, they spread that out and it makes for healthier pasture. Now let me show you, this is our mobile coop. This is a 5x8 trailer frame. Nothing fancy. We essentially framed up a box on top of it, and that's it. Now we've got a Gallagher electric fence charger right there, and we got a big long 100, it's either 100 or 150 feet cord. And so we had 2 or 3 of these solar chargers, and I don't know if we just bought the 3 that were built on Friday afternoon or on Monday morning. I have no idea, but we just never could keep them running. The batteries would either fail, and the battery cost as much as a new charger, or some board would go out. We just couldn't keep them running. So the net is not really there to keep the chickens in. That net is electrified, and if you touch the little wires there, it'll really get after you and shock you. So the net's not there. I mean, chickens could fly over the net. The chickens can fly over that net because it's only about 30 inches tall, 32 I think. But it keeps critters out, okay? Raccoons, possums, dogs, whatever. That net is, I mean, it really will get your attention, because it'll shock you. Let me show you the feeder too before we turn them out. It's a piece of PVC pipe about 5 or 6 feet long. I had some cutting boards that we cut some holes in, and a 6-inch hole saw was perfect for a 6-inch piece of PVC. And so I put a little epoxy in there, and I put some self-tapping screws in there, and so that thing works out pretty good. The waterer, we've used these fountain type waterers, and then we've also got a plastic version of that. I prefer the galvanized because they don't get as nasty, and when they do get the algae and all built up, you can take a water hose and just spray them out real good, soapy water, and you can clean them up in 2 minutes. We've got our ever watchful owl. All right, so here we go. All right, girls. Come on. Come on, come on, come on. There we go. Perfect. All right, so we got a broken egg. And we got one egg way back over there. Great day. So what we did was we put in some roosting poles. We've got 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch hardware cloth all the way around the top. Our roosting boxes, we've got a cloth right there. So out here on the end, I'll move our owl here for a second. I don't know if I can do this with one hand or not, but we'll try. All right. So the roosting boxes, couple of eggs there, a couple of eggs there. We got one there, one there. Roosting boxes have hardware cloth in the bottom of them, and we put this rubber matting on top of that. We had put hay in here and straw in here and wood chips in here, and they just scratch it out. I mean, we've tried to build up like nests for them, and they just scratch it out. So we just said, you know what? We're gonna put this rubber mat in here that protects the eggs, and you can take that rubber mat out, hose it off, clean it up, and it works out just right. So we got that one's warm. I'm gonna put all of these in one box. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's an old big one right there. That hen had to work at that. All right, I'm gonna close this back. Okay. Every few days we move this coop to a new patch. Underneath there, you got all kinds of chicken poop on the ground, and looks like they're eating that egg. That's not good. We don't want them eating a broken egg, but we'll have to make sure that they don't start devouring eggs. That won't be good. And what that means is we'll have to let them out earlier, collect the eggs more often, you know, give them less opportunities to eat the eggs. Now, you see that long feeder? So one of the reasons I like using a long feeder instead of a round feeder is look how many chickens can feed right there at one time. I mean, you got a bunch of them. They can spread out and they can do their thing. And of course, this is first thing in the morning, so they're hungry. They've been in the shelter all night, and so anyway, the roosters, you know, when you buy chickens, sometimes you get a rooster or two. We ended up with 2 roosters in this bunch. When we butcher those meat birds over there, we're gonna butcher these roosters. We'll just use them for making chicken stock or something. We don't really care for fertilized eggs right now. That's not our goal. And honestly, the roosters create a lot of drama and a lot of noise. And so we just, I don't know, we just would rather be roosterless right now. And so anyway, sometimes we do hatch out eggs, and we do need a rooster to hatch out eggs, but right now is not one of those times. But these chickens have plenty of shade over here. This stays pretty much shaded throughout the day. Right in the late part of the afternoon, we get some sun in this spot, but not a lot. And so it's real shaded over here, and you can see how these chickens have just scratched through this And this is where they'll be a lot of today, is just scratching through, dusting in here. Of course, they're pooping in there, and that's creating lots and lots of healthy soil, lots of fertilizer for the soil. And so, anyway, like I say, we'll move them in a day or two. This grass will be healthier and, you know, better because of it. And so that's our plan. That's how we kind of build healthy soil. Now, there's a spot right here where they've started dusting, and they've dug a little hole there. We'll come in here with a tractor. We'll get a scoop full of our compost, and we'll just come in here and fill up a spot like that. You know, just dump a little compost in it, and it'll be fine. We don't sweat that kind of stuff on our farm. I mean, if you got a hole, you fill it up. It's not the end of the world. The cows that come in here next, cows will be in here in 3 weeks, 4 weeks, somewhere in that time frame. They will not care if there's a hole there or not, all right? And so now, obviously, if it's a post hole, skinny, deep hole or something, you can't, you know, cows can step in that and can't get back out. But something like that little dip, something like this uneven ground, we just can't. The farm is too big and massive for it to be, you know, level and smooth everywhere. And so, anyway, we do have 75 meat birds in the brooder, and they're going to move out probably tomorrow, and that will be their new home, that chicken enclosure right there. And every day they'll march their way across here. These boxes here get moved once a day, and remember I told you sometimes we move those meat birds twice a day. That's why that box is so much further ahead, because it's had several double moves compared to these guys. And so, you know, these are all poults, young chicks that haven't started laying, and then these are some egg layers that we just haven't integrated into that other big group. And so you can see how they've just churned up this ground, and in a couple of weeks this grass will be remarkably greener where these chicks were and where these chicks were. It's just amazing how that nitrogen, that urea from the chicken poop, just does a phenomenal job. And the chickens are, you know, they're scratching and they're aerating the soil. All this old hay that didn't get eaten, you know, they've spread that stuff out. And so it makes for a really healthy pasture. Anytime you can follow cows with birds, with chickens or turkeys or something like that, you're going to end up with healthier pasture. All right. Well, this is Ryan with the Lazy Acres Family Farm. Hope y'all have a big old good day. If you like our videos, click that like button. If you really like them, hit that subscribe, ring the bell. We'll let you know when the videos are going to be uploaded. And if you would, share our stuff and spread the word about our little regenerative farm here in Northwest Florida. We'll see you soon.